Okay, so yesterday we did test taking strategies 1 and 2. Now we're doing 3 and 4. All right. The first one says, or number 3, I should say, says read all answer choices. Oh, you guys need to all answer choices and X out the ones that don't fit your answer. This is where they will try to trick you. Watch out for little words like all, both, best, not, and that says -s. So it's when they add s's to the end of words. So that makes it plural. Sometimes that will be the one little thing that they change and it makes a difference. So you have to be like a detective again. So for this one, the Xing out, I always tell my class to get down to 50-50, meaning you want to get down to 2 answers. You want to be able to first eliminate 2 of them that you know, like that's definitely not right. And then you need to get down to just 2 of them that you're trying to decide which one's the best one. Now, sometimes you get down to 2 of them and you're like, I don't really agree with either one of them. Then that's when you need to go back and look at your original answer that you put in your head or wrote on a piece of paper and see maybe you have the answer wrong. So then you need to rethink about it. But I'll show you an example of that when we get to that. And then number 4, this is the one that everybody likes to skip. It's like when you do a workout and everybody does the workout, but when it comes down to the very end and you're stretching everything back out and relaxing, people want to skip that part. And then the next day you're super sore and you wish you would have done the wind down part of it. This is the same thing. This could either get you 100 or this could get you an F, depending on if you do it. So you need to check over your answers. Now, that doesn't mean just look at them and turn the page. It means actually reread them and reread the answer you put and make sure you still agree with it. Because sometimes while you're taking a test, you might answer number 4 and then get down to number 20 and you're reading that one and you're like, oh, wait a minute, I think I'm wrong about number 4. Then you need to go back and fix it. So you need to check your answers. So check over your answer, reread the question and the answer choice that you think is correct. And you always need to ask yourself, and I have a big poster in the room that says, does it make sense? Because even with math, with reading, with social studies, if you're putting an answer choice, and if the teacher asks you, does that make sense? And if you can't say, yes, it does, then something's wrong, okay? So we're gonna look at our the questions that we did together for my lesson with you guys yesterday. So we already did part 1 and 2. We looked at the question, we underlined or circled or square or boxed off clues. We came up with an answer on our own, in our own brain, from our notes and all the stuff that we have learned along the way of just being alive. And I'm going to compare it to the answer choices now. So now I'm going to move this over. All right. So I said, what is speed? My answer was the rate that an object moves. And speed also has to do with distance and time. So now I'm going to compare my answer to this answer choice group here. So, and I'm trying to get down to 50-50. So is speed how much an object's position changes? Could be, because when an object moves, its position changes. See how my answer and things I got from my notes is not exactly worded the same as this one? But that's pretty close. I mean, think about when you're switching positions around when you're sitting on the couch. Your position changes at a certain speed, right? You can either move slow like a sloth, or you can be moving fast and flipping around like fish. So I'm going to leave that one. I don't feel totally confident about crossing that one out. All right. So B says how far an object moves. Well, how far? That's talking about distance. But is it just about distance? No, it's about time also. So even if an object moves 20 feet away, if it took them 2 days to get there, versus taking them 3 seconds to get there. That's a huge difference. So we're going to cross that one out because it doesn't have all the parts. Okay, how long an object moves. Well, how long would be talking about time, but just kind of like this one, it doesn't have both parts. So I'm going to cross it out. Now I'm down to 50-50. There's 2 answer choices. How far an object moves in a certain amount of time. This one has it moving, the object moves, or how far an object moves, that's distance. And then certain amount of time, that's the other time part. That has both parts, so I'm going to leave it. I'm going to reread A and see which one's the best one. So how far an object's position, or how much an object's position changes. This doesn't say anything about position, but I could see. This one says how far an object moves in a certain amount of time. What do you guys think? Even though I can't hear you, what are you thinking? A or D? I think D also. So I'm gonna let that, there's my answer. I didn't go and cross all these out. Oh, another thing, speaking of crossing everything out. So here's my answer choices. Do not do this. Your teachers have not told you to cross answer choices out just for you to do this. That was totally pointless. I don't care if you know how to cross out letters. That's not the point. I don't care if you ever cross those out, as long as you have the right answer. But this crossing out is done intentionally. Like I'm trying to say, okay, I don't need to look at that one anymore. Nope, I don't agree with that one. Now I'm down to 50-50. So I don't need to go back and cross out A just to cross it out. I'm just going to leave it. Because what if I think, do a couple more and I'm like, wait a minute, I need to look at that one again. And I look at it again, I'm like, you know, my 50-50, I think this one's a better choice. So leave it alone. If the crossing out is intentional, it's not just to circle an answer and cross all the other ones out. You don't need to do that. That's just wasting time. All right. Now, number 2, wind pushes a toy sailboat across the pond. The boat moves in a straight path. What is changing? Well, I said where it is on the pond. So let's see what we got. The boat's direction, it moves in a straight path. So the direction change? No, it's not turning around and going the other way, or it's not going this way or this way. So no, because it says direction on there, that's wrong. The boat's path. Well, no, it's moving in a straight path, so that's not going to change. That's the same thing as boat's direction. That would be meaning the same thing. So we're going to get rid of that. The wind's direction. Wind pushes a toy boat across the pond. The boat moves in a straight path. Well, the wind's blowing this way. It has to stay in the same direction in order for it to go in a straight path. So the wind's direction's not changing. The boat's position. Well, yeah, because the boat started here and it ended up here, so the position changed. So that is the best one. And the same thing, my answers, it means the same thing, where it was on the pond. Okay. So some of them, you won't get down at 50-50. You'll know right away, like, nope, I don't agree with that. Nope, I don't agree with that. And then you usually find your right answer. Now, if I read all those and didn't agree with them, and then I got to this one, I was like, I don't agree with that one either, then something's wrong with my answer, or I missed a little sneaky clue in there that they snuck in to make the answer right or wrong. All right, the next one. What is gravity? We're looking for the meaning of gravity. The force that pulls objects toward each other. Okay, and we know gravity a lot because gravity is what pulls us to the earth, right? All right, so is gravity the amount of matter that makes up an object? No, that's mass. So that's not correct. Is gravity the measure of how far an object moves in a certain amount of time? Nope, we said that was speed. So I'm going to write speed next to it. Cross it out. A force that pulls things toward each other. Oop, that's pretty right on. All right, I'm still going to read D to make sure that it's not a better answer choice. A force that pushes things away from each other. No, because we have that it pulls it towards each other. The gravity on Earth is not pushing us away from the Earth. We would all be floating out in space. So that's definitely not right. So your best answer is C. Okay, so like these happen a lot of times in your mind. And sometimes, yes, you will have scrap paper when you take a test. You can use scrap paper anytime you want at home. And you're answering the questions. And then you're making notes on here and writing your thoughts on here also. I know you guys don't have the test right in front of you. Maybe next time I make a packet, I'll print out all the quizzes for you to have, or maybe I'll attach it to the materials to print on Monday. That way you can print it out if you want, and you can do the whole test and then go to the Google form and then just make sure you click on the right answers. And then that way you guys can write on it like I did here. All right, so for your assignment today, you have the same questions that you answered yesterday and that we went over. So these questions right here. Now they have multiple choice answers. So you're going to reread the question, and I know they're kind of tiny, but I think you guys can do it, because if my old eyes can see it, then I think you'll be fine. So you're answering using your answers to help you choose which one's the best answer choice. Do some of the things that you've seen me do on here. Write notes. Go back and look in your notes, like in your notebook, looking for the answer. You can use any resources that you want to help you answer these, and then find out which one's the best ones. All right, so I will see you guys tomorrow. Get that assignment done.